Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a little bit since I've posted, and by that I mean I've been able to upload every Monday and every Wednesday, so like twice a week, but now it's just gone back to every Monday, and it's just because I have been juggling my work a little bit and trying to just get in the groove of things and just be organized. It's just been kind of like hectic with trying to work and balance a little bit of stuff, so as long as I've been able to consistently upload Monday, that's a plus for me and for those of you that are watching or that I hope are watching. Anyways, so I wasn't really sure what to come up with. My KKW palette, I ordered the matte palette from the matte collection. Hasn't come in the mail yet, and I wanted to review and do a look with that and play around with it, but obviously it's not here yet. So I've been obsessing over the ColourPop She's a Rainbow palette, I believe is what it's actually called. I figured maybe I would just do a second look with this. And in the palette, like I showed before, there is this amazing blue color in this one, and I was kind of thinking maybe I could do a smoky eye, but like a blue smoky eye, I think. So I think that's what we'll go for. So I did my base off camera, primed my eyes. As you can see, they're clearly whiter than my skin. And I think we're just gonna dive into it. All right, so I have my palette here. I'm gonna use my Jaclyn Hill palette here for the mirror. I think what I'm gonna do first, I think I'm gonna actually use the Poof shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette as my base and kind of work up to it. And I'm probably gonna use, well, I guess it depends on how the blues look in a blend together. I might add a black, I might not, we'll see. I bought the Jeffree Star Morphe spray. I'm indifferent about the smell. It doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't strike me as a, oh, that's strawberry. It just smells like a berry kind of a smell. But, why does this look a little darker? I swear I cleaned this, but I probably didn't then. But, I'm just gonna put the base down. Like I said though, I bought the Jeffree Star Morphe Collaboration Continuous Setting Mist. I kind of like it just because it's pink, and I know that it sounds kind of dumb, but it's just the same thing as the Continuous Setting Mist, but I like that it's pink. And that's kind of like my theme with my tools that I use. Everything is black and there's a touch of red or there's a touch of pink. Even in my wardrobe it's like that. So I kind of just like that. It seems very dumb, but that's just me. Anyways, so I did use my JH30 brush for the shade Poof on the lid. And now I'm going to take my Morphe 505 brush here, or my M505, and then I'm going to take this shade in the She's a Rainbow palette. It's this soft blue. It's called Moonlight. And then I'm just going to dust that on the outer part of my crease just to get a good light base going, because I want it to be kind of smoothed out and nice and blown out. And this is a very soft blue. So I'm just going to pack a little bit on, and that'll be my outer shade here. Work it to the outer edge of my eye. So it's just like a nice soft blue. And then I'm going to take it to the other side here too. And I'm just using windshield wiper motions. So then for the next shade, and I know this Jaclyn Hill palette also has one in here, but this look is just a blue smoky eye. But I'm mainly going to use the ColourPop palette here. So I'm just going to take the next shade here, which is called Fine China. It's a slightly deeper blue, it's just a matte shade. And then I'm going to take my, do I want to use this brush? I'm going to take a cleaner Morphe 505 brush here and dip into that deeper blue shade, like I said. And then I'm just going to take it to the inner and outer part of my eye and kind of buff it towards the center. And then kind of just meet the two on the outside. Now, I'm not going to do a cut crease for this because it's just going to be smoky, but I'm just going to build up the blue on the inner and outer part of my eye because I want as much pigment of the blue that I'm going to use to be concentrated on the center without anything underneath. Just so I can really, really pack on that shade. So then I'm just going to buff this. Just kind of build it up to stay slightly deeper blue. And obviously same thing to the other side. Okay, so now that I've got that blue in there, these are metallic shades here, the blue, the two blue ones. I kind of want to use this deeper one, but I don't know, I'll decide. But in the switching over to the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette, there is this deeper kind of, I don't know, like muted blue called Busted. And I'm going to take that on the same Morphe 505 brush right here, dip a little, because the rainbow palette does not have an even deeper blue of this tone. So this is going to help me darken this up and smoke it out a little bit more. Because if this works the way that I think it will, then I won't necessarily have to use a black, because I want to keep this very blue. And then same thing, build it on the outer and inner, and then slightly connect them on top. See, that's perfect. And just buff them out, keep it concentrated, just like this. So I'm going to go back into that matte shade, the Moonlight shade in the palette, and take my Morphe, or it's still Morphe, the JH30 brush here, and just lightly take that light pale blue and just buff it on the outside just to make sure everything is seamless, because I know it's very easy for those, the darker shades to start looking a little bit more defined and cause a line, and we don't want that. So we just want it kind of buffed out. And then switching over to that Morphe 505 brush and the shade Busted from the Dark Magic Jaclyn Hill palette. Just kind of deepen it up a little bit, take it a little up higher, and it's starting to get a little darker. So then same thing on the other side. Okay. I'm thinking, now that I've got this going, I'm going to work it on the bottom a little bit. So I'm going to take... So I'm going to take my JH43 and then start working on the bottom. I'm actually going to go ahead and take... I'm going to take the shade Busted from the Jaclyn Hill palette and work it on the bottom here, just to connect on the outer part. Just on the outer part of the eye. So then I'm just going to take that same shade, the pale shade that we took before, and I'm just going to slightly buff out the line on the bottom, but just kind of soften it so it's smoked out as well, nice and blown. We don't like it, we like it nice blown, smoky eye. And then I'm going to take the same thing to the other side. You're just going to slightly press it and stamp it on the lower lash line here. That's all we want. Just like that. And then that same brush that I used before, the JH30 brush, take that light pale shade, that blue shade, and then just buff it out a little bit. Nice and blown out. And I think what I'm going to do is use just a hair of a black. So I'm going to take the Morphe 330 brush right here, and then take Temptress in the palette, which is just a nice black shade, and take ever so slightly a little and pack it on the outer and inner part of the eye. This will just deepen up the blue, and then you're just, like I said, you're just going to use a little bit and then work it on both sides, because black can easily ruin a look if you use too much. And then you're always going to tap off the excess, and same thing to the other side. Take a little, tap off your excess, and then just buff it in. And this is just going to really amp up the sultry look of the blue, but give it even more dimension. So then we're just going to do this. Pack it on. Pack it on. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of the black actually and just touch up this spot here. So there we go. We are getting our smoky eye. And then I'm going to take the JH43 brush. That's that stamper brush. And then we're going to take a little bit of the black, I think, actually. And then I'm just going to take it to the center. As odd as that is, just the center. Just to deepen it up, but it almost like connects a little bit, if that makes sense. Just connects the smoky eye. So then just the center. Pack it on, pack it on. So now that we've got that going, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild eyeliner here in Sapphire and Ice. And then I'm going to take it to the bottom part of my lash line here. Ow. So I used my Wet n Wild eyeliner in Sapphire and Ice really quick. Didn't show that just because I didn't sharpen it very well and I didn't feel like locating a sharpener, so yeah. But I just took it to the bottom part of my lash line. And now we're going to use the blue. So there's two blues that I could use. They're both metallic shades. They're these ones right here. I don't know. I think I'm actually going to use my favorite blue in this palette, which is Tide Pool. It's that first one here, this really bright one, as much as I want to use the deeper one. So I'm going to take my JH41 brush right here. I'm going to take my Mario Badescu setting spray, the rose water one, and just give it a spray. Nice spray. We just want it nice and damp. My cat's rolling around on the floor, and it's so cute. He's so cute. He's so cute. So then I'm going to take that shade Tide Pool, and it's going to pick up a lot of pigment because it's wet, and then just drag it across the center. In the spot that we didn't apply anything, obviously. So it's nice and creamy when it's wet. So you can kind of almost shape it like you would a cut crease, like if you were cutting it, but just pack it on just like that, and then it'll almost look like you've cut your crease. But we don't really care about that. We just want the blue on there. And then obviously the same thing to the other side. And then we'll probably go back into the darker shade, the black shade, just to kind of touch it up and make sure those two shades are properly blended. Awesome. So now I'm actually just going to take a smaller brush here, my Morphe 321 brush. It's a little tight, more tight and tapered. So I'm just going to take that shade Temptress, which is that black shade in the palette, and then just kind of touch it up just a little closer. Just a little bit closer to make it look a little bit more defined. My cat is like trying to scratch my backdrop here. He's so destructive. So then, just like that, tighten it up a little bit. I'm just going to buff it here. And take the blue, just kind of blend them. I want it to be very seamless. So now that we've got that going, so I'm going to take my MAC Hyper Real Glow Highlighting Trio. There is a lighter palette and then there's a darker palette, but the Hyper Real Glow Highlighting Trio anyways. And then we're going to take that first shade here, which is obviously the most popular. I usually mix these two, and I'm just going to take it to the center here and just bring it up, and then take it to the center on the other side, blend it. It's going to look very turquoise though, or almost like green teal, and then take it to the brows. This is where we're going to concentrate this, where it's going to really hit those points, those highlighting points. And then same thing to the other side of the brow. This looks really cool. This actually turned out a lot different than what I thought it was going to turn into. This is cool. And then I'm thinking I'm going to take a little bit of both, the two here, and then take it on that JH42 brush here, and I'm going to just lightly put it on the center. Yeah, are we living for this? Take it all the way up to the brow. Just ever so slightly, so it looks like a spotlight. And then same thing on the other side, take it all the way up till it like touches the brow, I think is what I'm feeling. So that looks really cool. You don't have to do that, but you can if you want to. And I'm gonna stop Jim Babarooney. So I'm gonna take mascara here. I'm just gonna use my Chanel typical standard black mascara, just in black. It's not waterproof or anything fancy like that. And then I'm just gonna take it to the top and bottom part of my lashes. I might not actually wear glasses. I might actually just wear the mascara. I don't know. I've been trying to rock my real lashes because they can take some wear and tear to them because of the ridiculous amount of times that I wear lashes. Stop it! So take it on the other side too, because we can't forget about her. Yeah. This like gives me Little Mermaid vibes, or just like ocean vibes, and not just because it's blue. But take it to the bottom lashes also, we can't forget about them. Okay, now that we've got our lashes coated, what are we feeling? All right, well, I think I'm feeling my Jeffree Star setting mist. Is that too bougie? So then I'm gonna take my Hyper Real Glow Highlighting Trio palette yet again. I'm actually just gonna take the middle shade here and use my highlighting, or my brush that I use for highlighting, which is one of the Morphe Rose Gold brushes here that has no number. Take a little bit on there and then just hit the cheeks. Ever so softly, right here. Just work it a little bit, take it just on the top part, the opposite side of the brow, just a little bit. So it gets nice and highlighted. And then just take it obviously everywhere that you just wanna, just like bump it up. I don't typically take it down the center part of my nose like that, like the bridge. I'll usually just do the center part and then the inner. I want cheeks that look like glass. Take it to the under part of the lip as well. And I think we're like highlighted, you know? I think we're highlighted. So now I'm gonna take my Kylie Jenner liquid lip gloss in Commando. Just a nice nude. And then I'm just gonna put this all over the lips here, since we did a bold look. Alright, so now I'm gonna take my Kylie High Gloss, I guess, and it's in the shade Snatched. And I'm just gonna place it right on top of that, just to gloss it up, just to give it a little bit of a extraness. And then lastly, just another spray because I feel like it, okay? Doesn't hurt to be extra. Alright guys, and there you have it. This is the final look that I've come up with. I don't know about you, I'm feeling this. I'm actually feeling it a lot more than I thought I would, but yeah, this is the blue smoky eye that I came up with. But just a pro tip for doing any kind of smoky eye, whether it's just your typical black brown or gray tones, or even just a random color, like I want to do a red one, I want to do an orange, whatever it may be, you go from like lightest to darkest, or depending on however you want to do it. Just a rule of thumb, it's just about dimension. So going with lighter shades and darker it's just about dimension, going from lighter shades to darker shades or vice versa, and concentrating it in the right areas that it needs to be to give it depth and dimension and to make it look like a smoky eye, which I don't know about you girl, but I'm all about the dimension. So this is the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I like it. Alright guys, this is the final look though, and I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did making it. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you want to support me and this channel, or in general if you want to see more content. So catch you guys in the next one.